Oh, jeez.
Maybe I should switch back to Mega XL so I don't have to pick up so many friggin' darts. I know, isn't that so true? Just picking up darts all over the place? I know. Anyways, it's Joe here from XFoxGames. Check it out. We got the Double Crusher here, the Mega XL. If you guys remember, we did a review on this. We pretty much done a review on all the current Mega XL blasters that are out, and we've modded a few. One of the biggest mods that we've done, yes, is the Boom Dozer here, where we kind of converted the 6-cylinder into a 24-shot cylinder, and we actually have in the works a inline clip for that, where we've been testing so we can get the best performance, which is going to make it so hopefully, right, you can get upwards of 50-something darts out of there and a lot of shots. But we're going to talk about that one probably in another video. This is going to be our kit that we developed for the Double Crusher here. You know, when I first saw this, I was thinking, man, why can't I just put something in there and shoot 3 darts out of it? Cool, but there's actually a lot of internals here that wouldn't work the way that you would think. You can't just shove something down the barrel, down both these, and shoot, you know, triple darts out of it, or triple short darts out the front, because it has that smart air restrictor in there. We're going to go over this where, you know, if when this is in there and one of these are in there, it knows the air restrictor is going to come, or the air restrictor, the smart airflow is going to shoot out the top, and then when you pump it again, it's going to shoot out the bottom. But if you just jam something down the barrel, something like this, it's always going to think that there's a dart in there, so you would only ever shoot from the top. So we'll show you how we got around that and talk about that a little more. But yeah, we created a little kit here that you can put these in. It literally takes, I don't know, 5 minutes. There's no cutting. There's no gluing. You just take off a few bolts up at the front here, which we'll talk about, and you just open it up. You don't have to take apart the whole thing. And you can take these out if you want, or you can only use one. If you want to have maybe the Mega up top and then the 3-round buckshot at the bottom, perfect. I think this is going to be really good for scenario games where people have shields where you need to hit and break their shield with a Mega round, and then you got the buckshot underneath. So I think that, for me, is pretty cool. But this one, I just added both right there at the front, just so you guys can kind of see this. So before we go over how this works and everything, I want to show it shooting, just so you guys can see this. I mean, pretty much you're going to get the same performance as you would the Mega Dart. Maybe you can get a little bit farther. I feel like they come out a little bit harder. But you can see here, I mean, the same functionality here is here. You have slam fire, you have single fire, and it works correctly. You shoot the top, then you shoot the bottom. Or if you just load the bottom, you only shoot from the bottom. That is one of the technical difficulties you have to get around when you're making a mod for this particular blaster, is you have to engineer how those kind of those airflow restrictors slash smart little airflow systems in there actually work. But you can see here, it's kind of good, kind of nice, tight grouping. Yeah, I was like, man, my idea after, 10, 12, 13 different iterations, it's working. I was like, this is awesome. I redid a few of these a bunch just to make sure I'm getting the design right, I'm getting the airflow right, and so forth. I will be doing a little more iterations on these just to see if I can squeak out a little more, FPS out of these. But right now, they're shooting great. And you can see just tight grouping. And, especially with a lot of the darts that we shoot, every time I shoot a bamboo, the bamboos are always a little bit smaller than, say, like the Adventure Force and normal darts. So I typically say, yeah, shoot the Dart Zone stuff, the Adventure Force Pro stuff, the waffles, and you'll be perfectly fine. So there you go. I mean, that's just me shooting, right? Just kind of generically. Now, I'm going to switch up camera views so you guys can kind of see this from a top-down view. We can explain kind of how we built the system and what these will be for, when we list these on our Etsy site, so you guys can grab a couple. So let's switch up camera views so you guys can check this out. All right, guys, so we switched up camera views here. And first thing I want to do is talk about the actual install of this, because it's super, super easy. There's no cutting, there's no gluing, there's nothing. You don't even got to take this full thing apart. So with a normal blaster, really you just have to take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just these front screws here. And when you open it up, you're going to see there's this kind of like this, it kind of breaks down the middle, right? But the bad thing about this is there's an inside barrel in there that is one piece. It has grooves down the side. And that one piece, I was like, oh man, I wanted to resign it, but that whole one piece is it's a huge piece. So all you got to do is just pull these two pieces apart. And first things first is you want to slide in. This is the, I made it green, so it's probably a little easier to see here. This is the air restrictor extender. So what happens is when you push a dart in there, there's an air restrictor, or there's kind of little tabs that push up. So it lets the blaster know when a dart is in there. So when it's pushed in, those get pushed down, right? So you'd have 2 darts basically in there like this. And so the air restrictor, when it's all the way pushed up, is going to say, okay, it's aimed up. So when you fire, those pieces that you push down by pushing the dart in there fires out. Now those are sticking up like this. And then the air restrictor in the back is now going to angle down. And it's like, oh, well, those tabs on the bottom are now pushed in. Perfect, opening the airway to get through. Now it's going to say I can shoot this. Now when both of those are out, right, it's going to be like, okay, well, no air should go out the barrel because both of those tabs are closed. So that is kind of what's happening inside here when you guys do this. So we're figuring, okay, first of all, you can't just put this all the way down because it would always think that there are 2 mega darts in there, right? It's always going to think there are 2. And you will shoot the top one because this is pushed down on those bottom kind of spring air restrictors back there, so it's always pushed down. So you'll always shoot the top blast, but you would never shoot the bottom. So that's why we had to do this. So what this does is it goes right in. It just drops right in. And you could feel it when it goes in. It's kind of springy where this is, and you could actually push it down with your hand, and it goes down about an inch or so. And the top looks something like this. So this, let me grab some darts here. So this is the top part. You're going to notice that it has kind of these grooves on the side. And inside each of these barrels, right here on the side that come out right here, you're going to notice grooves. And you pretty much just kind of line this up on those grooves and push it down. And then when this snaps all the way in, it'll go right over the top of that. It should fit right over the top. And sometimes you got to like wiggle it around. So these 3 kind of posts go up into, you can actually see the bottom there. If you look at it, we'll go into the bottom of those. See that? So hopefully you guys can kind of see that. So typically that bottom spring down there is pushing this up. So it's telling the blaster, hey, there's nothing in here, right? But when you push a dart in here, you can see it pushes that down. Very similar to you pushing a big dart, in there like this. It pushes that air restrictor down, right? So we just needed to extend it. So when you put in the first one, you just drop this in, you kind of line it up, push it down, then you could do the bottom one, and then this just snaps right over the top of that front top right there. It should go right in, and it's not going to move because it's in there pretty good. I know some people are like, well, why do you have it sticking out? It's because that plastic circle that's underneath here is one piece. If this was flush, you probably couldn't get it back out without breaking it or something because it's a pretty tight fit to make sure you have a good air seal in there. So that's the reason why we kind of left it up like this. So if you were decided to take it out, you can just grab it and just pull the thing out once you undo your bolts and kind of open it. So that's, literally 5 minutes to do, and that is the whole concept behind our design here. And you can see we tried opening it up a lot. We are definitely going to do a little more here and try to etch some more of the sides off to get as much air in there as we can. And then in here you can see it just kind of, right, just the air goes through, comes right up the middle, and then in turn just goes around those posts. But we are definitely going to try a few things here and there to see if we could squeeze a little more FPS out. So most likely what's going to happen with our kit is you're going to get 2 tops, 2 bottoms, and the tops or the bottoms the tops will probably always be orange or blue, and the bottoms will just be a various color because you don't ever see it, right? It's always stuck in there. Now, we were also thinking, what can we do about the storage back here? Because if you're not going to shoot the Mega XL darts out of here, what are you going to do? So this is not the final design, but it's going to be very close. I just kind of made this to where it's like, hey, got our cool XF on there. You can hold a few darts, and you can just kind of push it in there, right? And just have it in there as kind of backup. So check that out. So you can just pop it out when you need some darts, pull it out, throw it in there. Cool, throw it back in. All right. Again, that's not our final design. It's going to be something very similar to this, probably with not as much of our logos on there. That way you can carry a few extra darts. We were also thinking about having a 2-post thing here with kind of a block thing on the side so the darts come out both sides, but we just thought this was kind of cool. I don't know if we're going to include something like that in our kit yet, but I thought it would be nice because if you're converting to short darts, this back here is just going to be kind of just sitting there doing nothing. So I thought that having something like this, where you can just carry it, throw it in if need be, and just have it as kind of extra dart storage like in the back. Probably go with the one design where, like I said, I think we're going to fill this one and this one, and then have like a block or something right here with a bunch of holes in it. That way, yeah, that way you could fit more like 10 or 15 darts down the side instead of just a quick, you know. But I kind of like this. I kind of like being able to just, you know, have this in your hand, take out a few darts, throw them in, and be good. It's basically just like the top up there. It's just a little bit longer, right? But I don't know. I'm probably going to do something like this, but we will see. I'm printing a few extra ideas right now. But that is kind of the whole idea behind our upgrade right here, right? You don't have to go with both buckshot in here. You could only put it on the bottom, the buckshot, or you could put the buckshot on the top and then the mega on the bottom, and it will function just fine. And yeah, I was like, man, I first did these and put them down in there, had it all ready, and I'm like, why is the top only shooting? Oh, it's because this is always constantly pushing down on those air restrictors, so it always is in the up position to shoot out the top. It will never go to the bottom because those air restrictor on the bottom is never released, so it seals that top gate, right? Now, this again is not as efficient as the boom dozer, that is for sure. It is this air restrictor on here is not that great in comparison to the boom dozer, and I think the spring might be a little bit on the weaker side, but still, you still get great performance you can see out of this. But that is my upgrade, guys. I just wanted to show this real quick and talk about it because I'm super excited about it and was pumped that you know, I was able to get something like this to work and engineer something that yeah, is pretty friggin' awesome and a super easy install. No cutting, no gluing, nothing. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. I'm always curious. Thanks again, Fox fans.